How do you take a classic starship from the 70s and translate it not only into a 3D model, but one that has to be detailed inside and out for 3D printing? The Beowulf has had many iterations over the last 45 years. It appeared in the very first edition of the Traveller role-playing game. Since then, there have been many new editions and interpretations of the design. Although we had deck plans to work from, we still needed to translate them into a 3D space. From our earlier work on the Type S, we learned that compromises need to be made in going from the page to the 3D printer. We had to change the forward landing gear, lengthen the ship slightly, and increase the height marginally to accommodate all the features the ship has to have. But with the interior planned out, the next question became, from what Beowulf design do we draw primary inspiration from? Ultimately, the Mega Traveller edition, envisaged by the likes of Rob Caswell, Brian Gibson, and Tom Peters, spoke to our nostalgic aesthetic, particularly the designs from the Starship Operator's Manual Volume 1. The process of designing the 250 parts of the free trader Beowulf has been tedious and time-consuming. Working from the fore to the aft, we did the first concepts in March of 2021 and started full production in February of 2022. Each deck needs to be painstakingly designed with walls, furniture, and even some functional parts like the ramp and the turrets. You can assemble the ship whole and even light several parts of it, including its engines, cargo bay, bridge, and navigation lights. Or you can lift off the roof and each of its 3 decks can stack onto the table for easy play. With a brief hiatus, it has taken us over 7 months to get the Beowulf finished. Each part has been prototyped and iterated on so many times we could have had 3 ships by now. But finally, the design was done, and all that remained was to give her a coat of paint and get her ready to launch into space. Visit seconddynasty.com for more information. How do you take a classic starship from the 70s and translate it not only... Oh, there we go. Hey guys, it's Ben here from Second Dynasty. This stream today is all about the end of our Kickstarter, which has been running for the last 24 days. And it's featuring here. I have to do a couple of different changes throughout the stream. A bit of modifications to graphics and whatnot. So we're just going to hang out for the next hour or so. Probably closer to the hour point since it is getting on midnight here, and it's nice to see we're actually getting quite a nice surge. Currently the campaign is at 60,972 euros and 70 euro cents for some reason. Let me know if you are hearing me all right. I do have a secondary camera in here that's focusing on part of what's on my desk. That should frighten you. I don't think I put the autofocus on. Maybe I need to... Let's see. I think... there we go. Let's see if this works. Yes. That's Benjaminin. I did not create it. John did. John is unable to be with us tonight. He sends his deepest, darkest well wishes. So, you guys are hearing the music? Shit. I need to turn that off. Not the music, but that you guys are hearing it. You're hearing it through the microphone? I mean, I've got headphones on. And I'm listening to music, because I usually do hang out in the final... Since I'm streaming all of this myself, let me switch this back over... to OBS. Sorry, the ship is in my way. So, you guys, if I do the close-up, because you guys can still hear me, right? The ship is right here. So, it is slightly in the way. Just slightly. How's everyone doing tonight? So, check those camera controls. Who we got in the chat? Let's see. We've got 17 current viewers at the moment. I see a number of wonderful backers, the guys that have done the best for us. Okay, the music is now off. Alright, I don't know what it was still. Maybe the speakers are left on in one of the channels that I showed. Can't hear you when the music is playing. Is the music playing? Okay, system sounds on there. Okay, there we go. Sorry guys. That should be better. Please confirm in the chat that you're no longer hearing music. I mean, it's not great for me anyway, because I'll probably get some copyright stuff, right? Let's see. So I'm just waiting for a confirmation that you guys can no longer hear the music. Getting music when the web page is up, no longer jamming. Okay, so you hear my voice all right? I guess there's a little bit of lag there. No, the song. Okay, the song is, you know what guys, I will share my, let's see, share, copy link to playlist, and you guys can listen along if you want to. I'm going to put this in the chat. So that's what I'm listening to, which is my daily mix, a mix of Miami Nights, 1984, Lamados, Nina, and more. Could have sworn I picked one that had different bands on this, but hey, I will enjoy it. I'm big into retrowave and that sort of music, which is what we're listening to. So, okay, aside from refreshing the Kickstarter page, let's just review really quickly what we've managed to unlock during the last 24 days. I've made this handy graphic to navigate, which contains, we increase the number of deck plans we're doing, not just the Beowulf, but the Type S, the Type J, and now the Gig as well, which I've calculated it to be approximately 40 unique maps, because we're going to have a couple of variations of backgrounds, and then, most ships have 4 layers because they've got 3 decks and a top layer, right? Then, of course, we have the VTT version, and I believe that we have a volunteer that is actually converting all these ships so that they're easily used with Fantasy Grounds. And of course, there'll be a number of PNG graphics there as well for Foundry and Roll20 and whatever other VTT you'd like to use, which is just more like complete empty ship with, a couple of different options. I'm going to sneeze in a second, so I apologize for that. Maybe I can talk through it. We'll see. I'm going to go back to... I can't really see very much of the chat, unfortunately, because the Beowulf is in the way. I thought, oh, won't it be nice to show the Beowulf? Let me see if I can move it back slightly. Oh, that is precarious. There we go. So if I switch to camera 2... I stole it from Albin's computer. That's not really any better. It's way too zoomed in. Oh well, it was a nice thought and was kind of last second, so I'll probably pick up this camera and move it around a bit, or maybe we can, I don't know. The autofocus on this one is not that great. Oh no, it's grabbed my other camera. So it's going to be a bit of a pain, this. Here we go. Shall we turn the lights on? Nope, where is it? There. So these light kits were done by Zorama, who's in the chat. And if you look in the info for the... we made a Benjamin turret, so we could have installed that, but oh well. So yeah, just a quick view of the ship there. I don't have any really great space to... Maybe I can maybe I can grab, sorry about this, guys. I thought about this second camera literally just seconds before I was starting to stream, so you guys can see my candy as well that I grabbed for the occasion. That doesn't look that great, does it? The camera won't stay either. Alright, stuff it. Let's move it back. Oh well. Let's switch back to the scene and I can check out the chat finally. I can actually see the chat a little bit better now, although it is on the wrong side. Let's see, can I pop out the chat? I can. Now let's see if I can zoom this in. Oh, I can, thankfully. I have such old, tired eyes. Okay, so there it is there. All right. Yes, so the let kits are available through the website in the link. And I'm just going to move this slightly over here so I can see. All right, I'm all good now. I promise I'm not going to be too much of a pain. So, where was I at? Yeah, look at what we've unlocked. So, yes, I know the ship is expensive. This has been bought up. The ship is 84 centimeters from one side to the other. It has 250 parts. It assembles gluelessly, and it took me 8 months to finish. And on top of that, we do have the traveler license. This is a licensed traveler product. Inflation has hit us very hard here in Sweden, and it's a combination of different things. The other thing that's a factor too is you might have noticed that whilst we have over 620 wonderful backers, it is a very niche thing. So in order for the price to drop significantly, we would have to attract a lot more backers than we actually have, which indicates to me that, you know, sadly, for what it is, the price point is about where it needed to be. So I thank you guys. I know how tight things are at the moment. I really appreciate the support that we have gotten. And because of that support, we've managed to unlock 13 stretch goals. And many of these were thanks to an initiative with our social goals. So our social goals were goals where we have a Facebook link page here. So make sure you go into that, like, share, although I don't know how much point there is now with 45 minutes left. You never know. If there's someone that you think needs to see the campaign, you can do. The big kicker here is that we're only at like 368 likes of 500 for this life support control system. We'll check that out in a minute. But maybe we can unlock that during the stream. I thought, and I suspect that it doesn't necessarily update all that often on Meta. So here, hopefully there's not too many naughty bits of information, but you can see 368 is how many people it's showing. Technically, I think likes are counted even for liking other people's comments. So I don't know. Go in and get those likes going and see if we can change this by the end of the stream, eh? Alright, so let's get back to where I was at, which is, I have been, setting up this page. So I've tried to make it ready for people that, you know, are eventually going to make it here. Late pledges, that's true. That is something to consider, 2x. So basically, I'm trying to set up the page so that people can easily identify, you know, pledge levels, what we're working towards, a table of contents so you can actually find the different categories you're looking for. I've pushed up all of the interesting stuff like the pledges, add-ons, and stretch goals to the top. And then if you want to learn more about the product, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page. I think this makes it clearer too because we did miss adding some items to the different pledge levels. Although we have added this handy table, which identifies, some of the changes. And then, of course, we've updated the graphics as we've been able to provide nicer looking stuff. So everything new is the all-in pledge. So if you backed any of our other past Traveller Kickstarters, this one gets you everything new. And you can kind of see we have these fancy updated graphics here for the Airraft and for the brand new grav bike that we just added a couple of days ago. Albin's been working on it as a secret project, so you now have even more value for money for the all-in pledge. We may even think of something else to put in at the end. I'm not promising anything on that though. Traveller Collector, if you haven't done any of our Traveller campaigns before, this gets you up to date. And then Starship Hoarder is all about what the name implies. We have made a total of 15 different unique ships using open-lock tiles to connect the bits and pieces. You can see here the bulk of our, I think we can rightly say, an armada at the moment. Of course, only 4 of these ships are Traveller related. I guess technically the Beta Centauri could make 5, since it's my interpretation of a Traveller style ship. But in any case, we have had more pledges to this one than I was expecting to get. So you can see here we've actually had 17 backers. So thank you to all of you. That's a huge amount of funding, and that gets us through the, that got us to where we are it's at a large chunk at a time. So I just wanted to show off the Rampart Fighter. Anyone that follows our social media would have seen that Albin made a cool film for that. Maybe we can actually key it up. Let me see if I can. I might have to stop the music while it's on. Let me stop the music. Let me go to not camera 2.
How do you take a classic starship from the 70s and translate it not only into a 3D model, but one that has to be detailed inside?
So yeah, that was something that Hannes and Albin threw together about, making a Rampart light fighter. That's one project that can be done in under a day. Maybe you would have to speed paint for that to actually happen, but hopefully that came through all right without too much other information. I keep moving the chat here. So yeah, keep the chat going, guys. If you have any questions, I am going to read it and we can answer it. But I will go through a few things and we'll look at the Beowulf. Again, if you have any questions, we can answer them. I do have a few graphics I need to work on before midnight. So it might be a combination of looking at stuff in Maya and doing some boring Photoshop stuff. So of the exclusive add-ons, they're all included with the all-in pledge. I think we might have missed some of these listings, and I know for sure that the grav bike is missing. The Rampart light fighter is the one that we just showed off. So let us know what you think of that design. I know that there are other variants. We based this off the Mega Traveller version, which then Ian Stead has, or Stead, I think Stead is what I've used in the past, has also brought to life. So we used some of the color schemes from that. What's my next ship? Oh god, I don't even want to think about that. I think actually we're going to be doing something smaller. Probably a collection of starfighters is what I'm thinking. Something a little bit more manageable. And then we would probably, I'm thinking of doing either one or two original ships, but there will be more in this shuttle alpha sort of scale. The Beowulf 1 to 270 miniature, that has not been created yet because it requires us to convert the full scale version into something that can be printed. So that's going to take, a couple of months. You'd love to see a two-seater version. That's probably a little bit more possible than a number of designs. It does require remodeling this front part of the ship, but it could be done. Any plan for utility ships? Well, I would probably go for something more utility-wise. I think that's a good idea for like a repair ship sort of thing. The other one I would go for is some kind of drop ship, more like a troop drop ship. So yeah, the deck plans are coming in February. I could have sworn I updated these graphics. Why is that not changed? I haven't updated here, so okay, we need to remember that. Let's see, where were we? We were in the... I need to place that first. File, open, and I'm just going to get into the... was it the add-ons? Let's see. Add-ons, exclusive add-ons, and then we have our Traveler 3 exclusive add-ons. You can see here that the... Oh wait, no, that's correct. It's the Beowulf one. Sorry about that, guys. Let's get back to the right page. So we are doing... This is an example of several of the backgrounds we're planning to do. Like the Martian dropship from the Expanse. What I have in my head right at the moment is more like... I'm not entirely sure, but interior-wise, what I'm kind of visualizing right now is like the drop scene from what is it? Edge of Tomorrow? Maybe some kind of mecha suits. I don't know. I'll see if I can collaborate with someone to get that done. So yeah, we have the deck plans individually. They're coming later, probably in January or February. And like I said, there's a ton of different variant pages to do. We want to do these poster map sizes, probably at 28 mil, and maybe we'll do 100 mil. 15 mil. And then the VTTs, of course, will be coming at the same time. Then we have the air raft. We can open up that scene and have a look at it. Actually, we're working towards a mezzanine at the moment, which is this upper deck for the cargo bay. But we'll just save this off, and I will drop back to look at that air raft. The scene does take a while to save because of its size. Starship Troopers dropship, probably not quite as boxy as that, although that would be a much easier job. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing a traveler ship next. If I did another traveler ship, I'd say it would be a modular cutter, but if I do one, we're probably looking at third or fourth quarter 2023, I'd say. I think it needs to be a viable project. This project, as much as I love it, we kind of put ourselves into a bit of debt, so we're out of the hole, but barely. So I'm going to, let's see, we need to, I need to find where that project is. I think it's here. Let's see, the air raft schematics render. Okay. So if we open this, it should take considerably less time to read this scene because it's a much smaller thing. Yeah, third or fourth quarter gives you more time to print. Yeah, exactly. So the lighting in this is probably not the best, and we can turn off our, let's see, show lights is off. And if we actually put the lights on, hoping, oh, okay, that's way too bright. or is it? Let's see. Let's cheat and lower the exposure levels. So it is a bit basic, but you can kind of now see the insides. This is based on the IISS aircraft. So you can kind of see the interior detail now. It's coming together. This is still a prototype. But if we sort of move, the ceiling here is going to lift off. Wait, why don't I have... okay, it doesn't have a centered pivot. So let's center that pivot. I'm hoping Maya doesn't crash, but we do have a lot going on at the moment with all these cameras. So you can see down into the cabin, there's actually quite a lot of detail that's underway. And this one is done by Mikael, who did the other aircraft for the Type S. And this, of course, will fit into your Beowulf. The question is, do I have a scene here of the Albans? No, I don't. It's on a different hard drive. What a shame. So I'm just going to reload the Beowulf and we'll look again at these. Let's see. 200-ton ships is about the largest that's reasonable. I would say, I'm sorry to say this, but 200-ton ships are not reasonable. At the moment, as much as I love you guys, as much as we've done a fantastic campaign, I can't spend 8 months on a ship again. I can't ever do it. I don't. Unless we did it up front with funding, but the amount of funding needed would be considerable. Unfortunately, I live in Sweden. We're running a business. There's royalties to pay and whatnot. I'm not saying I'll never do it. I'm just saying if we ever did a 200-ton ship, we would do a Far Trader. That would be the ship to do. In any case, 100, 250-ton would be more reasonable. Yes, it's a shame there isn't like a 150-ton class in Traveller. Like, it's a sweet spot. The beta is 150 tons. So yeah, here's the new grav bike. I really like the look of it. It kind of really does look like a jet ski. And I believe that Alban has test printed it in FDM. Although I think this will look slightly better in resin. So it will be ready to go as well in a couple of weeks. And then we get back to our old add-ons. There's 5 miniatures missing from this render from an old backer that had a commission and sent a description through their engineer character that we built. There was supposed to be one other one, but I fell out in touch with them. So I don't know. Maybe one day they'll get back in touch, although it has gotten more expensive since then. And of course we have our old air-off variants, our Imperial Star Marines, my favorite one being the guy suiting up. Painted by David Woods, fantastic miniature painter in the UK. We have our Type J, which I actually have up on the shelf behind me, fully assembled. I don't think I'll bring it down right now though. We have the T5 turrets, which we did for the Type S. So these are the styling used in the T5 rule set. And of course the Gig, my Beta Centauri, which this is the 150-ton class where I've got the same semiotics as Traveller. Of course, our Kickstarter edition of the Type S, so that includes all of the stretch goals, and our Kickstarter edition of the Starship Miniatures, which includes 25 different ships. And you'll be able to add to that collection the Beowulf in January. I'd say we'd probably get that finished by. I don't want to promise anything before Christmas, but the Beowulf itself will be out in early December, along with the aircraft, the grav bike, basically all of the printed miniatures except for the actual ship miniature. And yeah, and then we get to the stretch goals. So we have unlocked jump drives. They're quite a bit bulkier. We can look at them in a second. The fuel bladders I was working on this afternoon. The decals, I did some very basic ones that I used on the Beowulf. I'll probably change these up for the final version. So maybe I'll put out this version as we release, but then modify it to add a couple of new details aside from just these semiotics and whatnot. The semiotics were like Mark Miller's interpretation of them. We've gone for a little bit more of a colorful version, which I can show in the Beowulf scene here. So, for example, here you have our simplified version of like a data system, I think it is. You got your turret, and you have your access panel semiotic. So we have this sort of like red on white with different color codings to sort of indicate what's within. So, for example, you have your airlock sort of symbol there, this indicating that it's a crew commons. Here you have the med bay, which is red, and you have the bridge. The ones in green usually indicate like it's a ship system, so it's green to the bridge. It's green in a lot of areas. It's green here into the drive compartment, for example. So these are just simplified versions of the semiotics that have been designed for Traveler. I don't know what's going on with that thing. That's a weird artifact. But yeah, that's the Jump 2 version. I currently have like the stretch goals added. Hope I'm not shouting, by the way, too, guys. With headphones on, I tend to shout. Maybe it's good that I speak up for once. So we just have a little bit under 27 minutes left. By the way, I have done the modified floors now for fitting these. Sorry, this is the old style on top of the new one. So that's the size 2 maneuver drives with the size 2 jump drive. The flooring I've done as well, and they're actually ready for test printing. So they should be out when we put the ship out in about two weeks and change. So it won't be on the Friday, it'll be on the following Monday, because that's when Kickstarter pays us. So you may notice too that we have different kinds of turret barrels. So I was thinking of like adding a free pack for the all-in where we just have different barrel styles for the Beowulf style of turret, because it is more functional than the Type S one. So let's see. Color code legend would be helpful. Mech suit drops ship hype, yay. Shout more, we get more backers. Yes, indeed. Let's see if the shouting is working at all. It won't let me see the negative feedback for some reason, but I don't think this updates in real time. Yeah, it only says we have one more reaction. I doubt that there's only one more reaction, right? Can anyone tell me if they've been liking like mad on the comments or anything like that, so I know? In any case, we do have a little bit of graphics work, like I said, that we should probably do, because once the Kickstarter ends, I can't change anything on the page. So let's just finish reviewing it. We also get the Dead Spaceman Halloween bonus. Have a campaign during Halloween. I need to do something special for it. So we got Kai Shiniko to modify their Traveler spacesuit to have a dead spaceman in there. It probably should just be someone that's mummified rather than an actual skeleton. But hey, maybe they crash on a world with an atmosphere and they decomposed, right? Maybe there's an atmosphere in the ship that was just toxic or something, and there was still bacteria that ate all their flesh. I don't know. There's lots of different ways you can go. So again, maneuver drive done. We're also making a smaller deck plan for the gig. This is a much smaller ship, so there'll probably be only 2 different versions of it, right? Because it's only got a single level. I'm not quite sure where you're supposed to board on that one, so that should be interesting. Maybe it's in the ceiling. We just unlocked the Power 2, so it's a Class B fusion drive. No, fusion power plant. So you can have enough power for those jump to fuel tanks and jump drives. And then, of course, we just unlocked the rear airlock. I honestly didn't think we were going to hit that, but we did, which is absolutely wonderful. And we're probably just a little bit away. Let's see, 67,000. Nice. I'm just refreshing here because sometimes it doesn't say. So we're about 3,000 off. I don't think we'll make it in 24 minutes, but you never know. Maybe we'll get in 6, like, of the Starship hoarders. So we even need 30 backers or 6 Starship hoarders. My throat is already getting a bit choked up, and we have, not long left, so I really need to review this page. And I think it's all in place, because I don't think we're going to change anything. We have rolled a couple of the questions on printing over into the FAQ. And again, the sort of a couple of details on the deck plans, and just this is just a pre-visualization of how it could look. I think the final result will look better. So yeah, the ship is very, very detailed. And there's a couple of videos in here, especially about the lighting. Really happy with the light kit solution that Zorima did. For my part, it was well worth it because, yeah, I probably could have, if I had the talent, I could have rigged the lighting a lot cheaper. But I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So this was a great solution for me. It uses 2 9-volt batteries, 1 on each side. And you can see there a little conflict here happening between some Imperial Marines in battle dress and a couple of poor travelers that are probably about to get shot to pieces. You can slip me a couple of euro for the mezzanine. I mean, it is technically built. Like, we do have it in the scene, right? And it has this functional lift. So the lift should be able to move up and down. I'm just going to turn off the lighting here because it's what's causing Maya to be so slow. So it'll go up and down. There's a bit of clipping here because I haven't taken the floor out. Mostly because I want to be able to keep, the original version here intact. So if I, for example, switch this back over to the original version, standard drive compartment and cargo bay. Here we've got the base ship, right? So we have this functional ramp. It does work quite nicely. The turrets are also functional. You have full range on them, as you can see, and then of course full rotation, and that works in practice as well. These little features on the bottom here are actually to house support rods, so there's optional support rods that will hold the ship together better. But I digress because, again, we're running out of time. There's a couple of things I've been working on. One is the pre-marketing for late pledges. So I need to get that sort of sorted. And I will move that over to the other page because there could be some sensitive information. And the link of which, we're going to need to use... let's see, I hope that just works. Does it? No. Oh. Actually, you know what? Can you guys tell me if this works or not? I'm going to send you a link. Let's see, where are you guys going? Here. Does this work for you guys or is it private? Let's see. Private. Damn, that is a problem. Next section. I'm just creating a really basic campaign. Oh, there we go. Oh, damn, I need to request to publish. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're reliant on my MIDI factory now. I'm just gonna quickly go into my group with them. They're all offline though. Sorry about that. It's kind of an important feature. I should have thought about it before when I was here for hours and hours, but you know, that's the nature of these campaigns. That makes me feel like I'm not going to have time to change things either. Neighbor. Great, I got two different answers from that. That's wonderful. So sorry about that, guys. It will take a minute to get up, I guess. All right. So sorry about that, guys. Hopefully, we will have some kind of live link momentarily so that we can update things post haste once the campaign is live. Let's check the funding, guys. So we have one or two more backers there. Getting some really good movement in this last couple of hours. It's been a very slow final 48 hours until like basically today, this afternoon, there's been some impressive movement. So, I mean, we're halfway to that next stretch goal. And the thing is, I'm still in discussions with my mini factory as to how we're going to deal with the campaign. If it is going to be a frontier or if it's going to be a just a pledge manager. There's a couple of functionality things that I'd like to see in the pledge manager that are not there yet. So I'm hoping there's some wiggle room. But in any case, we are having, let's see, where that and that. We are going to have a real hard think about whether or not some of that additional funding that comes in soon after, because we always have, you know, like late pledges, if we might just unlock that mezzanine, since it is so close. Perhaps the other thing too. So the other thing too being the wait, we can look at that real quick. So if I turn on the social goals and we drop down to deck, you can already see how complicated this is in Maya, really. I think you might appreciate the 250 parts and how long it took to design them. We're going to turn off the deck B slides and we're going to turn off the deck B interior. And you can see, again, the final result, because I think in my last stream we didn't actually finish this. So this is the life support system. It's designed to sort of like do a solution that I think Shadow Liger would be very proud of, where you basically just intersect two models. So you have the forward side, you have the back side, and this is about the thickness of a partition, right? So you could technically put that, say, on this wall. Let's test it out real quick. Let's see. So basically, yeah, you could put it on this wall and it wouldn't look too bad. Basically, that blue line is the thickness of the wall. So this is slightly thinner because it's not a bulkhead, but this one is. So why don't we just rotate that? And let's see, I will just check and see. I forget that you guys can't hear the music either, but alright, so let's move this back into place. So that fits exactly there. I mean, it is a bit too thick for that. Oh, well, not thick, but like a bit too wide. I guess you could do a version of this where you basically cover up the comm system. That won't matter. In fact, you can move it all the way over to there, so it would be a little bit through the wall there, but it probably still would look quite good. If a little bit cramped, but you know, with this kind of ship. Okay, approved it for now. Okay, so it looks like we do have a link on the way. I don't know if it is slow or not yet. So I'm just going to refresh that, preview that, and hopefully yes, the pre-marketing should be up. So guys, if you want to just check the link here, see if that works for you guys. It works for me. This is just something temporary to notify, and you'll notice something I want to talk about. And that thing is found here in, where is it? Yeah, it was actually hiding under this layer. I was going to improve the graphics, but to entice new backers, we are adding one of the 5 poses of our delivery Space Cat miniature. Some people were asking about this, and I decided, hey, one of the versions we'll put out as an enticement for new backers, but of course, we would not be great people if we didn't give you guys this for free too. So you guys are getting the delivery Space Cat for free as well. You're welcome. This is a cool little thing. I haven't painted it myself yet. One of our tribes members painted this one. I don't have the name handy at the moment, but we did get permission to use it. All right, great. Oh, already choked up. The Aslan will not be pleased. A delivery corgi. I don't know. In any case, yeah, we were working on that graphic. I'll probably update it. The page intro, I don't think we're going to break any stretch goals before the 10-minute mark, as we only have the 10 minutes left. Nice to see so many people jumping back in. And I think the deck plans we're going to make are just going to be really cool and probably provide something different to them what you're used to seeing. Hopefully you guys feel that way in any case. So let's get back into Maya for a couple of minutes. And is there any aspect about the ship you guys want to talk about? Here's your rear airlock. So that, we need to, there's a couple, when you're working with layers in Maya, sometimes you have layers in the same area, so We have this nice airlock at the back, and this, of course, brings back the rear airlock that was present in the Mega Traveler version that I kind of based the exterior of the ship off. Because there are a lot of different versions of the Beowulf, but I wanted to stick to the oldest stuff, mostly because obviously I don't want to tread on any toes at Mongoose, but also my favorite artists come from the Mega Traveler period, with that black and white art that you might have seen at the top of the show. So I'm very pleased with that. So let's see. We normally do stream on Friday afternoons, local time. So that's like about, I think we stream at 3 o'clock. So it's about 9 o'clock East Coast US. So yeah, it's just a small little airlock. Not very much to it. Just a couple of handles to grab onto. Some people have asked about adding this airlock to other areas of the ship. I'm sure Shadow Liger could easily mod it in. There are a couple of things I would have done if we reached higher stretch goals with that, but I think for now we leave it. Let's add back on a couple of decks, and let's see. We want that one, and we want the deck A interior as well. So yeah, this is what the workshop looks like. You've got your 3D printer over here. Maybe we should go back and change the Shuttle Alpha to a Beowulf, but I don't know, maybe it's a bit too meta. You have the workshop in the corner, and I think we might have a temporary aircraft in here when we were just measuring. Oh, it's the actual one, but it's only the exterior. So I just turned it this way to show, I think, a concept. You can see that the fit is extremely tight, but technically it fits. Let's see, I think about there and there. So it does actually fit, but you probably want to take it out before you do any work on it. So yeah, you volunteer a tricolor Corgasm model. Well, something to think about. I still want to do a Wilma Varga, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah, we've got 3 different decks. Here we have the bar at the front. This is actually the passenger commons area. So I thought a bar would be appropriate. You have some holo projectors, some staterooms. Someone was asking about the number of staterooms. There's 8 passenger staterooms, and there's 4 crew staterooms. This is what's in the T5 deck plans. One of the staterooms in the passenger deck is an owner suite, which is meant to be identical to the captain's cabin. So I have a fresher in it. There are some discrepancies. I don't know if they made Corgi Varga, guys. Let's see. Let's put that to 0. I can't believe we're down to like 5 minutes. Oh, we got another backer. Getting closer. 6 minutes left to go according to this one, so there you go. But yeah, we have you can see all of these models ready to go. These are the export models. And yeah, I don't know, what do you think, guys, about getting some free turret variants? Obviously the quad one was actually a stretch goal, but I think we'll stick those in as a sort of like add-on so we can increase the value of the all-in pledge even more. So yeah, and we might like look at importing in some of the alternative versions that we did. I don't know. I don't want to put too much work into it, so I don't want to promise anything other than like not pulse lasers, what are they called? Beam lasers. So options would be good. Of course, you can use the ones on the Type S. Because I do believe we did some turret variants for the Type S. We definitely did that, actually, thinking about it. So, I need to start getting this link ready on the other page. So I'm just gonna, where do I need to do this? I need to, I think it's on the front page. Because yeah, as soon as it ends, we basically just want to create a landing page. I don't think there's any glaring issues we need to change. All right, so hopefully that gets changed. So yeah, guys, we're looking at the release on December 5. I believe that's a Monday. I want to double check just real quick. Yep, it is Monday, the 5th of December. That's enough time that the money comes through from Kickstarter, because it comes through the next bank day. Obviously, not on the Friday, because that would be too easy. They basically hold the funds from us, and it's a way to make sure that only the people, I guess, sorry, I'm just communicating with, shout out to Mars from my mini factory. We're just making sure everything's in place for the link. All right, Ken's Model Shop. Get on the Kickstarter quickly. Price depends on what you pledge for. Oh, right. Okay, trying to get people at the last minute there. So yeah, I'm just gonna link that. Even though we have nothing, we'll put it in the chat. And yeah, you got 2 minutes to go. So sorry about all the distractions, guys, but that's kind of what happens when you're running a one-man show. Of course, it's almost midnight here. It's 11:58 p.m., which means we have very little time left, but we should be seeing those fireworks very soon. So I am just going to put the lid on the Beowulf. There are a couple of minor things that I'll probably do anyway. One of those things is provide an alternative to the glass here with some shuttering, or maybe just a solid piece in case people want to go for a more classic look where this is filled in. Personally, if I had a bunch of VIPs aboard my ship, I'd kind of want them to have a nice view of the cosmos. 2-minute countdown has started. Oh my god, 90 seconds. Ah! Will we see one more pledge? That's the question. Was that one? It feels like it was a small pledge there. By the way, guys, you will be able to upgrade your pledge in the pledge manager. Although that will come later. Let's see. I need that one. Copy. We're getting ready here. 56 seconds. I'll do a countdown at the end, but I'm not going to start now. But I do kind of feel like I'm twiddling my thumbs here. So, mold for window, please. The window, yeah, okay. Yeah, we can do something like that, I think. The front windows are a different thing, but I'll look into it. I know people keep saying that about our ships. We don't usually use windows. Well, someone's rushing there. Let's see. Dare I refresh when we have 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are funded. Thanks, guys. This is totally awesome. As you can see on my counter, that equates to 740,824 Swedish crowns, or 67,392 euros and 70 euro cents. Thank you to whoever donated the 70 euro cents. I didn't think you could actually do that. Oh, and I was meant to change this picture. Oh well. So in a second I should be able to change this. I'm going to refresh the page. And as you can see here, I can change a few things. Oh, I can change the feature image. So that's great. I will switch this out to one of the older ones that didn't have any additional text in it. So I will fix it properly later. I think it is... Yeah, I don't know. I'm having trouble finding it. We have so many different versions. This one maybe was the last one we used. So that should load. We want to add a link here. Sign up for late pledge. I'm going to edit the link. We want to stick in our My Mini Factory link. That's correct. All right. Yep. We will change the page theme and add one of our fancy star backgrounds that we had, I think, in Starship Shuttle Alpha 4. Oh, let's try the Frontiers background, something like that. So that is loading. Thank you so much, guys, for doing that. It's absolutely awesome. Okay, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna publish the changes anyway, so people can find the link. And then I'm going to edit the page theme, change the background, not the color, the image. There we go. So I think we did one. I might need Bridge for this, Adobe Bridge, to identify which one we actually want. Let's see, into Shuttle Alpha Mark IV. I promise I will read the chat in a second. So here we have the stars, and I'm pretty sure it's like this one of these ones. So I'm gonna try this one, Kickstarter background. Oh, that'd be right, Kickstarter background. That makes sense, doesn't it? So Kickstarter background. Where's our K's gone? Kickstarter background here. Let's try this one. Hopefully it should have a box that aligns with this. Alright, it did, but oh, we can change this white text probably. Can't we? Page theme. Change text color, there we go. White, there we go. It's still not looking great. We'll publish the updates anyway, just because... Oh, actually, it might not be looking great because I might have zoomed in on the page. No? Okay, there were two different ones here. So there is a different side, 1903 times 1000. So I'm guessing that weird size is about fitting to the page there. So we're just waiting for this to upload. That looks right, aside from the fact that Shuttle Alpha is everywhere. But okay, let's change this in here instead. So let's see, 1920. Where's the changed one? 1920, 1920, 1903. There doesn't seem to be a PSD for that. So I'm just going to turn off all of these other layers. We'll do some fancier Photoshop work with it tomorrow. But basically, yeah. let's save this into our actual Traveler 3 component images. Trying to keep organized. And then we export this. Export as, we want to switch this over to a PNG. And 1903 by, that's the right size. And we'll leave it in component images there. And just quickly update that. And you guys get to see a little bit behind the scenes here about what we have to do on the Kickstarter side of things, right? So let's see. Component images. And there we go, the Kickstarter one. Hopefully this one looks good. Yay, that looks perfect. Let's publish the update. Perfect, I don't know about that. We can do some more work, but it looks fancy enough. And I guess it's kept the old video there with that logo, but hey, I can't have everything. John did warn me. All right, now I'm going to read some of the things that you guys have said. Let's see. You can put that in custom parts on Discord. Which one, sorry? I don't know what that was referencing. There's something like a 25-second lag. Yes, sorry about that. Yeah, we made the window. I don't think it's in at the moment. If I switch the camera over to, let's see which one, camera 2. You can see here we don't actually have it in at the moment, but we just used a piece of recycled plastic, and that worked great. So, yeah, not too bad. Great. Thanks to the team at My Mini Factory for acting quick there at the end, so we actually don't have any downtime. Let's see, maybe you guys can't hear me here. We can get a close-up of me thanking you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for making this possible. It's crazy to think that we started on this thing. I think we actually started exploring it technically when we were building the Type S, because Albin, that was his first sort of thing he did when he joined the company. Now this is what we have today. I'm just going to save this, as I tend to do. Let's make sure I read the chat too. Great, you can hear me. A lot of solid work, yeah. It is a lot of solid work. I think Tamsin counted it as we probably put in around 1,600 hours. Which not everyone understands that's the kind of time that it takes, which is why, you know, the price setting is kind of a little bit higher than what you might like. So if I go back into Traveler 1 here, and we look for one of the very oldest Beowulf examples. Let's see. Beowulf design exploration. No, that was not early enough. I'm looking for something much, much earlier. Let's switch this over to only Miocene. This, by the way, was a joke. Mark Miller actually said that one of Papsicle's miniatures was a little bit too busty, so we reduced the bust. Let's see. Scout Courier. It might actually be in one of these older ones. I'm going to just open this and see what we've got. Oh no, that's for the miniatures. Design exploration. New deck layout. So this one was from the 24th of March. I think, actually, we got one from February here. Let's look at that. So this would be very, very early. And I want to see show you guys how far we've come. this is what we had to go off. So this is still, I think, my first pass, and you can see we have a. I think this version here was like Albin's version, and I just rebuilt this from the ground up. He kind of got the first layout into position. You can see here the trouble we were having in the med bay. It's hard to see, but you can kind of see here that the hull does not at all support the floor of the med bay there, and it has the side stairs there in the original deck plans. I don't know how much you guys can actually read this on the screen, because you know I understand the ship inside and out, but you can see the block out very early, very primitive, reusing all parts and T5 deck plans. And then again, if we go back to our finalization scene, the version that we've put out the STL files from, you get this gorgeous, very complete, beautiful baby. Because that's kind of the way I view the Beowulf at the moment. She's my baby. I've basically worked on her for 9 months, a little bit on and off, which is why I say 7 or 8 months, because I continue to work on this throughout the campaign, mostly in stretch goals and whatnot. I think we have a beautiful interpretation that accounts for the T5 deck plans. It is slightly longer. But this is a true 3D Beowulf, and I don't know that there's ever been a Beowulf design that can be 3D printed inside and out. And again, just the level of detail we were able to achieve. You've got, these built-in 3D semiotic symbols that should be a lot easier to paint. Modular partitions, so you could change the layout here if you, for example, wanted a bit of variation with the rooms. I'm sure Shadow Liger will get onto that. There are lots of other options I would have loved to have done if we had a larger campaign. But I am happy with what we've been able to achieve together. And certainly it's paid off. If nothing else, this was a passion project. Whilst the Type S was its own challenge to build and took, I think, 6 months. The Type S, as you guys that actually have played Traveller would know, is not a ship you keep for very long with those 3 tons of cargo. But the Beowulf, that is found everywhere. It's very upgradable. Technically, for anyone that's interested, you could split the ship about here and extend it at like 4 inches at a time. That should be possible with a little bit of work, minimum work. So I don't know. That would have been maybe an ultimate stretch goal if we'd have like hit the 100k mark or something like that. But I got to be happy with what we've got. So, as you might be able to tell, my voice is going. Maybe a redesign of the stateroom inserts to add a small fresher. Yeah, that would be entirely possible. I mean, that would be also a fairly quick job. There's lots of things you could do like that. What do you think Shadow is going to kit bash first? Anything you are scared to see happen on this ship? Nothing is scarier than seeing John's Benjaminin turret. I don't know that I can find it easily enough, but it's on our Discord. I don't know if anyone here that is on our Discord wants to invite someone from the chat. Actually, you can't post links. If you go to seconddynasty.com, let's see, I have it here somewhere. So again, you can find the light kits too, a link to them, which is under Get Our Stuff, light kits, and then you can click on the link to go to Zoroma's Lights. and in catalog you can find the light kits for the Beowulf. At the moment, the bridge light kit I've actually just sticky taped to the top, so I probably will do something that's more of a holder. But the light kit that you can use in the bridge of the Beowulf also works as the airlock light kit from the Sleipnir. So that's that. But yeah, seconddynasty.com. I'm trying to move back to it. So if I go into the website here, you can see. I need to change this link too before I go to bed. But we have updated the Beowulf information with a little bit more behind the scenes stuff. This will need updating, but you can kind of see when we were filming the ship, the painting process, not the actual process being done. This is my favorite closing shot, I feel, of, the captain relaxing on the bridge, I guess. Couple more shots from behind the scenes, the painting process. Much higher detail than the ones that we've put up on the Kickstarter. So you can check that out. Seconddynasty.com. Actually, I'll just post the page link in the chat. Unless you ditch the air off, freeing up another 4 tons for cargo. After all, retired scouts with a Type S only have to cover life support, port fees, and repairs if they can't make it to a scout boat. True. But 4 tons more is not really going to make you a difference unless you're just buying speculative cargo and manage to get like 6 tons of nuclear materials or something. Those things are great. But yeah, in here under home, you can go to follow us. And here we have a list of all our different accounts. So please do go into, I'd say if anything, we are most active in our Discord and Facebook and Instagram. But we do release a film here on YouTube every week in live. And yeah, that's it for us, I guess. Thank you very much on behalf of the entire team. Let me switch to the close-up camera so I can show you my appreciation, despite the fact that I can't see you guys. I really, really appreciate you guys backing and making this possible. The engagement in this campaign was so much above what it usually is. The social stretch goals, we're definitely going to do that again. It lets there be a lot of smaller items that aren't as hard for us to model and implement. But you guys feel like, you're getting value for money and you can actually see what all that shilling you're doing is actually providing for us. So I will check back tomorrow. I think there's a chance that we still did hit the 500 mark. I don't know. I'm just saying it's finished and modeled, so I'll probably release it. Maybe. Might delete later. Don't know. Anyway, guys. Sorry, I'm being silly now. It is late. I love you all. I'll see you guys maybe not next week because I need to take some time off. I'm exhausted.